Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show a step-by-step tutorial on how to create a KDP book cover in Canva. So for this tutorial, we're going to use Canva as our editor to make the book cover. So first, we're going to go to our browser. Then next, we're going to search for a KDP book cover template. So we're going to run it. So we're going to click on the first link that pops up. So this is a page where you could enter your book information and a template will going to be provided for you. So first, we're going to insert the binding type, either hardcover or paperback. Then we're going to insert the interior type. We're going to choose premium color. Again, we're going to choose the paper type, which is going to be white paper. Again, our reading direction, either left to right or right to left, depending on your preference, as well as the measurement unit. So we're going to select inch. Then the interior trim size, so we're going to make it 6x9. So let's change the binding type to paperback for a better template. So we're going to insert the page count lastly. We're going to make it a 200-page book cover. Then once we insert all that, we're going to click on calculate dimensions. So this is the template that's going to be generated for our book cover. So as you can see, this is the full cover, its width and its height. Then there's also the front cover, which is going to be the front of your book cover. We also have the save area and the bleed section, where the bleed section is if you're going to print anything that's going to be pasted there, it's going to be trimmed out. The margin, the spine save area, the spine margin, as well as the barcode margin. As I told you, the save area is an area where any objects that are found there will not be trimmed while printing. They won't go to the front or back. So this is what our template looks like. So the next step is going to be, we're going to go to our Canva, then click on custom size. So here we're going to insert the width and the height that's generated there. First, we're going to insert the units to inch. Then we're going to write the width and the height that's found here back into our Canva template. The height's going to be 9.25. We have the units to inch. Then at last, we're going to click on create new design. So this is the design that's going to be presented with our width and height. So next, we're going to go back to our KDP cover website. Then we're going to download the template we generated. So once it's complete, you're going to see it in your file explorer. So there are going to be two versions, the PNG format as well as the PDF format. So when you click on it, it's going to show you the generated template. So this is what it's going to look like. Then we're going to go back to our Canva. Then we're going to click on uploads, then click on upload files. So we're going to drag and drop the file into that section. Then once it's uploaded, we're going to click on it. Then we're going to adjust the size to fit our template. So this is what the book cover is going to look like. So once we paste the template here, we're going to decrease the transparency to see how we're going to insert the objects there. So select the template, then click on transparency, then decrease the transparency so that it's going to be easy for us when we insert the objects and elements onto there. So now we're going to make our book cover. You guys could go to the template section and search for book cover. You guys could use this process. So if you don't find anything that's relevant for you, you guys could go to elements, then search for the type of book cover you want. So for example, I want something natural, something that's related with nature. So I'm going to search for nature background. Then I'm going to choose something that resonates with what I want. So you guys are going to scroll downwards and see the different results that are provided. Then click on the picture you want. So this is the background I wanted for my book cover. So we're going to adjust the sides. So that's going to fit perfectly into our book cover. So that's why we made the transparency low, so that it's going to be easy for us to align the object there. So once we put it the way we want, the next thing we're going to do is go for the back cover as well. So for the back cover, I want it to be a solid color. So we're going to go to shapes. Then here we're going to insert the square shape because it's going to be more easier to align it with the book cover. So we're going to drag it and position it to the point you want. So we want it to cover the whole background of the book cover. So this is what the back of the book cover looks like. So you guys could also change the color of this back. You're going to click on the color section and choose any of the color palettes that are resonating with your front, or you could change it to any of the colors you want. Then next, I want to add a gradient color to it. So we're going to go to the gradient section and see all the results they have. So we're going to select the gradient we want and adjust it to our book cover so it looks better. So the next thing we're going to do is click on the whole book cover, then adjust the transparency. We're going to decrease the transparency to see if the borders are aligning, if what we want for the book cover is perfect. So we're going to see what the template we initially inserted looks like. So the next thing we're going to do is go to shapes, then insert a line. So we're going to insert a line in between the book covers. So I chose this specific line. We're going to rotate it. So this is the line we're going to insert in the middle of the book cover, the one that we're going to fold. So I'm going to duplicate it, then align it to where I want it so that it's going to have a great style. Then I'm going to elongate it to make sure those lines reach the bottom of the book cover. So once you do it for all the lines that are found there, our line for the book cover is complete. So now you guys can increase the transparency to see the overall look of the book cover. So we're going to remove the initial template we inserted since our book cover is complete, and we're going to export it. What we're going to do is select the whole book cover, then click on the position button. Then as you can see, there's the layers section. We're going to click on layers. Then as you can see at the bottom, there's the initial template we downloaded from the KDP book cover site. We're going to delete it since we don't need it at the background now. So now it's better looking and there's nothing in behind it. So we're going to add a cover for the book. So next we're going to add a title for the book cover. We're going to go to text and add a heading. You guys can rename this heading to whatever you want. We want it to look appealing, so we're going to add another element for it once we give it its name. For this book cover, since it had a very vibrant mix of colors, I named it a Story of Colors. So next we're going to go to Elements, then search for anything that looks like a cloud, or you guys could scroll downwards and go to the clouds section. Then we're going to insert that to be the background of the heading. We're going to decrease the transparency, then change the color since the gray is not the color for this one. We're going to make it white, then put it at the background of the heading. So now this looks so much better. We have a heading for the book cover. So this is how our book cover is going to turn out. Then next, we're going to click on the share button on the top right corner, then click on download, then select the file type to be PDF, then make it a PDF print. So we want it in colors. Then finally, we're going to click on download. So that's how our book cover is going to be made. It's a very simple step. So that's how you do it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.